standard issue guardsman las pistol, capable of firing 70 to 80 shots. In all the fray, I'm not sure how many I fired. You feel lucky? Punk. Alright, we are back again. It is October, or Orktober. And in spirit of Orktober, I'm going to show off my orcs today. I've had a 40k army and a Fantasy Ork army planned for both for a while now. And they are both in various stages of completion. And I'm just going to show off some indulgent glamour shots as I yammer on today. When it comes to tabletop gaming and the hobby space that goes with it, to say the least, there is a lot of opinion. I think this is intensified by our current media culture, which I'm sort of participating in with this video, that is constantly vying for your attention and watch time. With that, there tends to be a lot of polarizing opinions to get you hooked in and watching. My goal today is, in my opinion, to give some balanced thoughts on the game space, the hobby space, and some areas where I've been affected. And yeah, it's going to include, some gaming, hobbying, and communing parts of the hobby. So when you get into the hobby, everything is new and fresh and maybe a little overwhelming. So naturally, it's not uncommon to lean on others and their knowledge of the hobby, to get you going, get you up to speed. And this is all well and good, but I would warn or remind, I guess, that whoever you go to, no matter their experience and time in the hobby, ultimately, they are not you. I think this is an important part of any hobby. At the end of the day, you are you, and no one else. So you like what you like, and that's that. It's not to say that you can't learn new things, learn to enjoy new things or ways of looking at things. But you should never just adopt an opinion or leaning just because some more experienced person says so or feels a certain way. You should also not allow people's opinions to turn you away from things that you haven't experienced for yourself. So just take it all with a grain and enjoy in what you enjoy. For me, when it comes to the hobbying, there's a couple opinions or ideas that have affected my experience and enjoyment of the hobby at different times, and still kind of mess with me from time to time. So I guess at the end of the day, they haven't been helpful, but I guess they've allowed me to take a more introspective look at the hobby space and how people are interacting and how I'm thinking about myself and my own work. The first area was in my painting, and I guess like this idea that there's a right way or a better way or a more experienced way you ought to be painting. I feel like that's, I guess I picked up that from, just seeing like the how-to videos with the more extreme language of like the best way, the newest way, the cool, this style, this, I don't know. I think there's an implied sense of like a superiority of certain things over other things. So I use like a semi slap chop style of painting. I pre-shade the model, dry brushing it, then I use speed paint or inks to shade it and giving you a dynamic looking paint job in a relatively short amount of time. Now, when this whole slap chop thing happened, the mini painting hobby space kind of blew up like on YouTube and stuff. But along with it, I felt like there was a lot of like naysayers kind of maybe, I don't know if demeaning the technique is the word, but maybe it was like looked down upon due to its seeming simplicity. But with that, here's the thing, like it's not simple or easy, and results definitely vary because it does require skill and understanding to do it well. And just like any other technique, it's a technique. It's a tool in the toolbox and can be expanded upon or used to expand upon other things. Techniques don't just magically make you a better painter. Techniques aren't better or worse. Learning the technique, whatever it is, and using it well, that's what makes you a good painter. So for me, I need to stop focusing on these negative voices that I hear, or maybe just feel, the negative voice in my head that projects onto others maybe, and it demeans the worth and quality of my work. The second area I wanted to talk about was like the idea of like, I guess, extreme loyalty or opposition to different like games or companies. Obviously, Games Workshop is one of the bigger ones. They make a great game and a great product, but they're also a corporation that does like crappy things and sometimes doesn't acknowledge their artist. Yeah, I don't know. People can say a lot of negative things about them, which are true, but so are the good things. So I don't know. I've been listening to like Kevin Smith a lot lately. If you don't know who Kevin Smith is, he's like a writer, director, and he's done a ton of movies from the starting in the early 90s up to now. One of the things I really appreciate about his current message is that he's essentially anti-negativity. If you know him and his work, this is definitely an interesting contrast because he typically has some sort of like snarky, cynical guy that's popping off throughout the movie. But anyway, like due to some health scares, the dude almost died. He had like a revelation and shift towards like gratitude and focusing on good things. If he doesn't like something, he's not gonna shit all over it, but rather just accept that it's not for him, and maybe even just for right now. He may revisit it in the future, and that thing that he did enjoy, maybe he will really enjoy it in the future. And he kind of sums up his way of looking at things into two ways you can go about. You can go the path of creation or the path of destruction. The path of destruction is always crowded. You can't get up there because it's easy to tear shit down and scoff or mock. I feel like you see this a lot in the form of like inflamed negative language and clickbait on YouTube. The best this or the worst that. Like at the end of the day, is that really adding anything? It's just like negative noise vying for your attention. Back to Kevin Smith, he says the other path is creation. Creation, on the other hand, is an open lane for miles because it requires that you give something of yourself. And that, not everyone is willing to do. I really want to try hard and focus on just building cool things that I enjoy and giving measured responses to the things that I don't enjoy. I feel like in the early aughts, it was almost like trendy and cool to be edgy and cynical. And, while that can be funny sometimes, I feel like it can be like drinking too much, You can enjoy that nice buzz at first, but the more you drink, that buzz just turns into you fading into like delusion and poor choices. So what does this have to do with extreme loyalty to, a brand or certain games? I don't know. I guess like hold it all lightly. You don't like that game or company, that's fine. You don't have to play it. You don't have to buy from them. You also don't have to shit all over it, especially when there's a whole slew of folks that do enjoy the game or might enjoy it. So you can just gracefully pass on it and let others enjoy it. I think at the end of the day, if you investigate different opinions on the internet, it can be great for getting like a ballpark feeling or understanding about something. But it should never sway your entire outlook or enjoyment of something as if it's like the authority on that thing, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking to myself, because I admit that I can be swayed by a sharp or contrasting opinion or idea. But hey, what about you? Do you find yourself getting caught up in popular opinion or extremes of opinion sometimes? I feel like it's hard to avoid. We're constantly being consciously and unconsciously advertised to through media, and we are in a day and age of 5 to 15 second, distraction entertainment. I think we need to be diligent when it comes to consuming content or entertainment, and I think that diligence is maybe sometimes not consuming content and just doing your own thing the way you want to do it. But that's just what I think. You let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked this video, give it a like. And if you'd like to see more like this, be sure to subscribe. I generally post once a week. Every Monday, the video drops at 5 a.m. California time. And yeah. You can also support me over on Patreon. you can totally go over there and follow for free. There, you'll always be notified of the new video uploads, along with like behind the scenes photos, progress of different projects I'm working on. And then also access to a Discord channel where we can all talk about hobbying and the end of the world or some shit. There is also a paid option on Patreon. If you really enjoy these videos, I make one a week. You can, throw me a mere $5 a month. You get access to all the stuff I already said, and you'll be financially bolstering my ability to keep up doing this and continue making videos and working towards some future endeavors, one of which is putting out a game. And another thing I'd like to do is put on events at some point, maybe one for my future game, but just for gaming in general. So yes, head on over to patreon.com/Existential Hobbyist. I would be eternally grateful for your patronage, but that is it for now. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. Goodbye. Today is October 7, 2024. Here are 7 dice. Today's numbers are on the D20, 15. On the D12, 5. On the D10, 9. On the percentage die, 50. On the D8, 1. On the D6, 6. And on the D4, 1. Those are today's numbers. Bond. Godsman Bond. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, fuck you. I'm gonna fucking zap you. Pew pew. Take 2 with a chainsword. You guardsman las pistol. Pistol. I can't fucking say pistol. God damn it! It does make me feel so cool that I got this chainsword and this las pistol. If they was real and I was actually like a crazy killing machine, hot dog, that would be bananas. Just fucking chopping up bugs and stuff, and well, god damn, essentially anything that ain't holy, because the only holy thing is the emperor. Am I right?